Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself sitting under a vast night sky, where the stars shimmer as if whispering the secrets of the universe. In that silence, a gentle breeze drifts by, carrying an ancient message, as if it comes from souls who walked before us, as if it comes from Nostradamus himself. I greet you, Aries. Thank you for being here in this space, where words are more than words, where deeper vibrations reach straight into the heart. This is not a hurried conversation. This is a moment set aside just for you, to listen, to understand, to feel seen in your wholeness. There are truths waiting to be revealed, truths that speak not only of tomorrow, but shine a light on your soul today. A journey begins here, mysterious, radiant, and filled with healing. And from this very place, we step into another layer of the story, where an ancient prophecy slowly unfolds, calling out to Aries, as if you were chosen to step into the next page of the universe. There are nights when the quiet moon shines gently over the earth. We find ourselves sitting alone, asking, is destiny already written long before we arrive, or do we still carry the freedom to choose each step? That question has echoed through centuries. It has stirred countless souls before us, all searching for an answer. In pages yellowed by time, Nostradamus, a man who lived hundreds of years ago, left behind lines hard to explain, verses wrapped in mystery, as if he wrote them for all of humanity and yet also for each soul alone. He didn't only look at his own time. He looked through the mist of the future to remind us that life is not just days passing by, but a map, a vast tapestry where every human being is woven in by threads unseen. And today, as I read his words again, I hear a strange echo, an echo that calls out to Aries, those who carry the flame of pioneers, warriors who do not bow, souls that walk straight into the dark without fear. It is as though Nostradamus turned a beam of light toward you, Aries, giving you a sign that destiny is ready to open a new chapter. A chapter where wealth and happiness are not illusions, but a real path waiting for you to walk through. I want you to listen, not with your ears but with your heart. Astrology and prophecy were never meant to spread fear. No, they are lanterns, small lights to guide us so we can see what lies ahead, prepare our spirit, and walk the journey with peace in our soul. Have you ever thought that God speaks to us in many ways? For some, it's a whisper in a dream. For others, it's an unexpected event that makes them stop and look up at the sky. And maybe for you, Aries, it is these very lines, a message carried across generations, waiting for this exact moment when you are ready to finally hear it. I don't see Nostradamus as someone who writes rules to bind us. I see him as someone opening a door that does not force you to walk through, but opens just enough for you to see that life holds more possibilities than you imagined. And in this moment, as you hear these words, ask yourself, do you feel it too? That life is preparing to change, that a new wind is already blowing toward you. Aries, you are the symbol of beginnings. You are the first thunderclap that announces the rain. You are the seed breaking through heavy earth to reach the light. Inside you, there is always something pushing forward, urging you to step first even when you don't yet see the destination. That's why, when Nostradamus wrote about a flame that opens the way, it doesn't surprise me that his spirit resonates with you. Perhaps you felt the weight of too many battles, carried too many burdens, sacrificed too much. And maybe, in your quiet moments, you've asked, is it worth it? Will all my efforts ever be seen? Aries, this prophecy is the answer. It does not promise an easy road, but it tells you there is a reward, a light, a wealth both material and spiritual waiting for you at the end of the path. Let me share a personal view. We often think wealth is what we own, but true wealth is how we live. A person may hold little money, yet carry a great heart, and that too is wealth. Another may have success in hand, but if they never share, that wealth is only a shadow. What Nostradamus points to is not just a full pocket, but a full soul, peace, when you know you are living the mission God placed in your heart. So hear me clearly, you are not here to fear the future. You are here to open your heart and receive it. Prophecy is only a reminder. The real power is already in you in every choice, every step, every breath you send into the universe. Imagine this with me. One quiet morning, as you open your eyes, you feel that life is no longer a race, but a sacred journey. You walk not just to gain something for yourself, but to carry light for those you meet. That is the vision Nostradamus left behind, an invitation to live a life not only wealthy but meaningful. And now, let me leave you with one question. Are you ready to step through the door opening before you? Are you ready to let the Aries fire inside you burn so bright it turns these prophecies into living truth? And if your heart whispers yes, then hold that feeling close, because right after this, we step together into the very moment Nostradamus marked the fateful moment when destiny begins to open for Aries. In the history of humankind, there have always been moments when the universe seems to take a long breath, and then everything changes. A door opens, a new page is turned, and destiny itself is rewritten in the blink of an eye. It's not a moment the mind can predict. It comes suddenly, like lightning tearing through the night sky, flooding the darkness with light. Nostradamus once spoke of these fateful times, days when the energy of heaven shifts with great force, when the sky seems to hand down a gift to those who have endured enough trials, who have been patient enough to keep their inner flame alive. And within the echo of those prophecies, there is a call meant especially for Aries. You, the one who carries the flame of the pioneer, are about to step onto a path where wealth and happiness are no longer distant dreams, but a reality drawing near. What makes this extraordinary is that it comes not only from what you strive to create, but also from the unexpected gifts God and the universe choose to send your way. Picture this. You receive an inheritance you never imagined, or a friend from the past suddenly reappears offering a chance to work together. Maybe it's a small project you once overlooked that suddenly becomes the door to lasting prosperity. Life is like a garden. You plant a tiny seed, forget it for a while, and one day return to find a great tree standing tall, filled with blossoms and fruit. Sometimes, turning points come when you believe every door has closed. You sit in the dark, convinced there is no way forward, but from the most unlikely place, a sliver of light appears, opening a hidden path. This is the wonder of life. What looks like a dead end is often just a secret doorway waiting for your patience and faith to reveal it. Aries, remember this: these surprises are not meaningless accidents. They arrive as reminders that you are never alone on your journey. The universe sees you, God hears your prayers, and when the time is ripe, everything you need appears like a gift, pushing you toward greater heights. The key is to keep your heart open, a soul ready to receive. It's like stretching out your hands to feel the first drops of rain. You cannot control where they come from, but you can embrace the cool refreshment they bring. Let life touch you this way, gentle, yet powerful. Perhaps you've lived through a moment like this before. A message arriving just when you needed it most. A stranger reaching out a hand when you thought you had no support. A job offer appearing after countless setbacks. Small things, yet they shift the entire direction of life. And if you have lived such a moment, share your story, because your voice may become the encouragement another Aries needs tonight. Someone listening right now, waiting for a spark to keep moving forward. Fateful moments don't come to frighten you. They come to empower you. They whisper, "You have walked through long nights, and now I give you a turning point. Use it to rise higher, live fuller, and spread more light." When you let this truth settle deep within, you'll see that wealth is not just measured in money, but in ease of spirit and faith, in the ability to see meaning in even the smallest things. That is the root of happiness. And then another question drifts in like a whisper of wind. Why Aries? Why is your name written into this prophecy? Why not another, but those who carry the flame of the pioneer? What is it deep within your nature that makes the universe choose you? In just a moment, we'll step into that hidden layer to discover why the Aries fire stands at the very center of this timeless message. Throughout the journey of human history, there have always been people who carry within them a fire that never goes out. Not a fire meant to destroy, but a fire meant to shine, to guide others. When I think of Aries, I see that very fire, bright, fierce, and yet deeply healing. Aries was born to walk paths no one else has walked before, born to try what others still fear. And in your heart, that flame has never stopped burning, even when the world outside grew dark. Aries holds the spirit of the pioneer, always the first, willing to step into the unknown. Not because you don't know fear, but because you know the light only appears to those brave enough to walk forward. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is when the heart trembles but the feet still move. That is your essence. In the blood of Aries, courage has always been planted, a sacred inheritance from the beginning of time. I believe whenever an Aries appears in someone's life, it is like fire entering a cold room. You may not realize it, but your very presence stirs hope in others. In a world where many step back for safety, Aries steps forward to open the way. And that step, sometimes without you even knowing, becomes the path for others to follow. There's an image that touches me deeply: Aries as a warrior walking through the night. The road ahead is dark, silence all around, but in your hand a torch burns bright, and you walk not only for yourself, but for all those trembling in the shadows behind you. The flame in your hand lights your own path and lights the way for every soul following. At times, you may feel tired. You may wonder why it's always you who must carry the weight, why it's always you who must rise while others remain still. But this is what makes the soul of Aries sacred. You weren't born only to chase your own success. You were born to be the guiding flame, to open the roads no one has yet dared to walk, to prove that fear can never extinguish a courageous heart. And remember, true light never keeps itself. It spreads, it radiates, it gives. So does Aries. When you live bravely in your pioneering nature, you unknowingly teach the world a human lesson, that we can overcome darkness with the light already inside us. I have seen many Aries live this truth in the simplest of ways. A single mother deciding to rise and start again. A man refusing the safe path to follow his creative dream. A young soul accepting failure again and again, just to prove his idea is worthy of the world. All of them share one thing: the Aries fire, the courage to face fear and still choose to step forward. To me, that is the gift God placed in you. Not everyone is entrusted with this strength. And because you are called to use it not only for yourself, but for the good of the world, to show by living example that courage can change everything. If you are hearing this, pause for a moment and look at your own life. You will see the times you acted, even as your heart shook. Perhaps you've forgotten, but it was those very moments that shaped who you are today. We like to measure ourselves by victories. But in truth, we are shaped by the moments we dared to walk through fear. The miracle is this: when you walk like that, you don't only change your own life, you change the lives of those watching you. The light spreads, and from one small torch, it can become an entire sky of fire. Aries, be proud of the flame in your heart. Never underestimate its power, for that flame is the answer to why the universe and Nostradamus called your name, not by chance, but because you are the symbol of beginnings, the force of the pioneer, the light that leads humanity forward. And when you understand this, you begin to see what Nostradamus truly meant by wealth. Not only money or possessions, but the treasure you carry inside, a treasure far greater than all of that. In our modern world, where every number, every contract, every value is often measured in money, it's easy to forget that true wealth has never been about paper bills. Wealth doesn't live only in a bank account. It breathes in every moment, every relationship, every time we can smile at life. Aries, you carry a different kind of flame. A flame not just to fight, not just to prove yourself, but to bring warmth to this world. When you turn that light into service, when you use your natural courage to lift others, you are touching the highest form of wealth, the fullness of the soul. Here's the strange thing about life. You can gather great riches, yet if your heart is empty, you'll still feel poor. And another person may own little, yet if they know how to love, how to share, how to leave behind traces of kindness, they are wealthier than all treasures buried in the earth. This is a truth every civilization, East and West, has spoken of. I believe God placed a sacred seed inside every heart. For Aries, that seed is the guiding flame. And when you choose to live by it, when you light the way for others, you not only build abundance for yourself, you help create a world more fair, more lasting. Your wealth becomes a bridge where others can also find faith and hope. Imagine a winter morning, the air sharp and cold. Someone walks into a dark room shivering. Then they see your fire burning, a soft warmth filling the space. In that moment, they don't think of money, they think of life, of trust, of gratitude. That is when your light becomes a wealth that no number can measure. Some people become rich by collecting. Others become rich by giving. And those who give often leave the deepest mark. Their names are not listed on wealth charts, but written in the hearts of humanity. Aries, you could be one of them. Your legacy may not be piles of money, but faith, inspiration, and simple acts that ease another's burden. Do not fear that giving will make you lose. The truth is, giving multiplies your light. The more you share, the more peace you receive. The more you live for the whole, the wider your soul becomes. And that is the greatest wealth, when your heart is no longer a small box, but a vast space wide enough to hold all of humanity. So let me ask you, Aries, what is true wealth in your heart? Is it numbers in your account? Or is it the laughter of a child because you helped? Is it the moment you look into someone's eyes and see hope return? Answer that for yourself. And if you wish, share your story, because your story might inspire another Aries or another soul listening with you right now. When Nostradamus spoke of Aries and prosperity, I don't believe he saw only material riches. I believe he saw a greater treasure, the treasure of humanity, of spiritual light, of the power to turn pain into healing. And that treasure lies in your heart, waiting for you to awaken it. Take a pause here. Close your eyes. Feel it. True wealth is flowing in your veins, not as money, but as love, kindness, and the ability to leave behind a legacy for this world. And when we understand this deeper meaning, prophecy is no longer just an old text. It becomes a bell, a call to action, urging Aries to rise, to live true to the flame in your heart, and to make your life a testimony of sacred wealth. Through the long river of history, countless prophecies have been written. Words preserved like a flame carried from one generation to the next. But you know something, Aries? Nostradamus did not leave us only cold predictions of the future. Hidden deep within his verses, he whispered a message. Don't wait for a miracle, be the miracle. This is not a casual call. It is an awakening. Because this universe, with all its shifting mysteries, has never been designed to simply hand out gifts. It waits for us to respond. It waits for us to move. It waits for us to co-create with it. And for you, Aries, the universe is calling. It is placing in your hands the chance to become the very wonder you have been praying for. Pause for a moment and imagine. Before you stands a golden door glowing in sacred light. Behind it, you can sense something vast, complete, a future filled with joy and abundance. Nostradamus may have seen that door long ago, but he never gave the key to anyone. Because the key has never been in someone else's hands. It has always been in yours. Aries, you were not born to sit still and wait. In your veins flows the energy of the pioneer. In your heart sounds the call of courage. Every prophecy, every opportunity only comes alive when you decide to rise, to step forward, and to plant your faith in action. I believe no prophecy is stronger than the seed of faith you plant each day. You can read 1,000 predictions, hear 1,000 voices from the heavens, but if you do not act, they remain only words on paper. But if you move with faith, every step becomes a stone building the very path Nostradamus foresaw. Remember this, destiny's door can open, but only you can choose to walk through. No one else can do it for you. Fate is not born of passivity. It is born of the soul's choice. And the miracle is this: with every step you take, the whole universe trembles. Other doors swing open. Other hearts find inspiration through you. So picture it again. You stand before that golden door, your hand trembling but your heart brave. You know that with one turn of the key, with one step forward, you will enter a new horizon. The universe waits in silence for your decision. And in that moment, you realize the greatest power has never been out there. It has always been within you. This is not just a personal journey. This is the journey of a collective flame. When you dare to act, when you dare to live as a miracle, you become inspiration for those still sitting in the dark. You show them they too can step through their own door. And that is the true power. The universe has given Aries the power to be the one who opens the way, not only for yourself, but for your community. You may have thought you needed a great sign, a bolt of lightning, a voice from the sky. But sometimes the sign is simply your heartbeat, your breath, that restless pull inside reminding you that you were born for more. Listen to that call. That is the universe whispering to you. So Aries, walk forward with faith, with wisdom, with determination. Do not wait for a miracle from outside. You are the miracle the world has been waiting for. And then a question rises like a quiet wind. When you step through that door, what will you find? What awaits you is not only material reward, but a profound transformation, one that reaches to the roots of your soul. Every great journey always leads to a moment of transformation. And for you, Aries, when you step through that golden door the universe has opened, you won't just see changes in your finances. Yes, money, prosperity, opportunities, they will come. But that's only one piece of a much larger picture. The deeper miracle, the more sacred gift lies in the transformation of your soul. Picture a sunrise on the mountaintop. After long days of climbing, sweat on your face, your heart pounding, you finally reach the peak. And before you, the first light of a new day rises, stretching across the horizon, illuminating the world beneath your feet. That is the image of the transformation awaiting you, Aries. Your finances stabilize, your worries begin to fade, but more than anything you discover happiness, freedom, and a profound connection to the mission of your soul. In the past, you may have believed that the final goal was wealth. But now, standing at the summit of yourself, you realize the true treasure was never the number in your account. It is the person you have become along the way, strength born from every fall, compassion born from every wound, faith refined by every trial, all of it shaping you into a radiant version of yourself, not just for you, but for the world. Let your heart feel this truth. Wealth is not only what you own, it is living a life of meaning. Happiness is not only what you achieve, it is what you give. Freedom is not just breaking chains, it is living true to the essence of your soul. And when you touch those values, everything else, money, fame, success, becomes only a reward along the way. Aries, you are like a flame lit on the mountaintop. That flame warms you, but it also shines outward, so those still at the base of the mountain can see and find the faith to climb. You are not only transforming your life, you are becoming a pillar, an inspiration, a torch for others. That is the sacred meaning of this journey. One day you'll realize the greatest gift was never what you received, but the strength, the resilience, and the kindness you cultivated within yourself. Because wealth may be lost, but who you have become will remain forever. That is the true treasure the universe wanted to give you. Let this silence echo in your heart. See yourself standing on that summit, the wind moving around you, light surrounding you. And know every hardship, every doubt, every detour, all of it was a step leading you here. Nothing was wasted. Every wound was a lesson, every failure a bridge, and every tear a drop of rain that nourished your soul to grow. Looking back, you'll see the road was never easy, but it was the difficulty that transformed you. It turned you from a seeker of treasure into a living treasure yourself. And that treasure is not just for you, but to be shared with humanity. Aries, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here on this journey with me. Your listening is a gift. Every moment you've opened your heart, reflected, and received is proof that you are ready for a new chapter in your life. And from the deepest sincerity of my heart, I offer you this blessing. May you find wealth not only in material things, but in the peace of your soul. May happiness reach you not only in fleeting smiles, but in lasting fulfillment. May the sacred light always guide your steps so that everywhere you walk, you carry healing, hope, and radiance. Aries, your journey is not over, but today in this very moment you are fuller, richer, more complete than you ever imagined. And it is from this fullness that you will continue to write the miraculous story of your life. Thank you, and may you find the sacred light in every breath, every step, every new day.